The look that changed everything. The hall was full of laughter, clinking glasses, and cheerful music, but Mia wasn't smiling. Her heart dropped the moment she looked across the room and saw Daniel staring at her. Not at Claire, his fiancée. At her. It was not a normal look. It was deep, heavy, and filled with something unspoken. Mia's breath caught in her throat. She turned away quickly, pretending to laugh with a group of guests nearby. But inside, she was trembling. This night was supposed to be a celebration. Claire's engagement party, Mia's best friend since high school, and Daniel, the perfect man Claire was going to marry. He was charming, smart, handsome, a doctor, the kind of man most women dreamed about. Claire had found him first. Mia had been happy for her. At least, that's what she told herself. But tonight, something changed. That look, that one forbidden look. Mia stepped out onto the balcony, needing air. She gripped the railing tightly. The cold breeze helped, but only a little. Her heart still raced. Her thoughts were all over the place. Why had he looked at her like that? Was she imagining it? She closed her eyes and tried to steady herself. Then, she heard footsteps behind her. Daniel. He walked up and stood beside her, quiet at first. "You all right?" he asked softly. She nodded without looking at him. "Just needed some fresh air." He seemed distracted inside. "I guess I'm just tired," she lied. Silence hung between them. Then Daniel spoke again, more quietly. "You felt it too, didn't you?" Mia turned her head, stunned. "What are you talking about?" "That moment," he said. "Back there, you felt it." "No," she said quickly. "Stop it. You're marrying Claire." "I know," he said, "but I'm not blind." She shook her head, her voice trembling. "We can't have this conversation." Daniel nodded slowly. "You're right. We'll forget it. It didn't happen." He walked back inside. Mia stood frozen, her chest aching, but she knew the truth. It had happened. For the next few days, Mia avoided both Claire and Daniel. She made excuses, cancelled plans, ignored calls, but her mind was stuck in that moment. Why had Daniel said those words? Why had she felt something too? And why did she feel so guilty when she hadn't done anything? She told herself it was just a misunderstanding, a one-time moment, but it wasn't. It was a seed planted quietly that began to grow. 1 week later, Claire called. "Hey, let's meet up. Just us, like old times." Mia hesitated. "Actually, I've got work, Mia," Claire said firmly. "You've been avoiding me. What's going on?" Mia sighed. "Okay, let's do coffee." They met at their favorite cafe. Claire smiled brightly, but Mia noticed something in her eyes. Worry, maybe even suspicion. "You've been weird lately," Claire said. "Is something bothering you?" Mia forced a laugh. "No, not at all. Just, busy." Claire stirred her coffee. "Daniel asked about you too. He said you've been distant." Mia's heart skipped a beat. "Really? That's unexpected." Claire smiled. "Yeah, he thinks highly of you, says you're calm, sweet, different." Mia's stomach twisted. She smiled weakly and changed the subject. But the guilt grew heavier. The real shock came 3 nights later. Claire had gone out of town for a bachelorette trip. Mia stayed home, planning to catch up on work and rest. That night, there was a knock on her apartment door. She opened it and found Daniel standing there. He held her blue scarf in his hand. "You left this in my car a while ago." Mia blinked. "You came all the way here for a scarf?" Daniel nodded. "And to talk." She stepped aside. "Daniel, this isn't a good idea. I had an argument with Claire," he said. "About you." "What?" she asked. "She thinks something's going on between us." Mia backed away. "Is there?" He looked straight at her. "I don't know, but I think about you more than I should." Mia's voice cracked. "You can't say things like that. You're marrying my best friend." "I know, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone, but I needed to be honest. I feel something I never expected." Mia didn't answer. She simply shook her head. Daniel stepped back. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come." He left without another word. Mia closed the door and leaned against it, shaking. She had done nothing wrong, but it felt so wrong. The next morning, her phone buzzed with a message. "Unknown number. I saw what happened. You'll regret this." Mia's blood ran cold. Who sent that? What had they seen? Then another message arrived, this time with a photo. A blurry image of Daniel at her doorstep, standing too close. "Betrayal looks ugly on you." She tried to call the number. No answer. Panic filled her chest. Who was spying on her? Another message. "You destroyed a friendship. I hope it was worth it. Mia deleted the messages but couldn't shake the fear. And then, later that evening, came the worst message of all, from Claire. We need to talk, now. The truth comes crashing down. Mia stared at her phone, her hands trembling. Claire's message glowed on the screen. We need to talk, now. Her heart pounded like a drum. She knew this wasn't just a friendly message. Claire had seen something, probably the photo, maybe the video. Whoever was behind the mysterious texts had finally done it. They had sent something to Claire. Mia got up, barely able to breathe. She didn't even change clothes. She just grabbed her keys and rushed out of the apartment, her mind spinning in circles. What would Claire say? Would she even listen? Would she ever forgive her? When Claire opened the door, she looked like she hadn't slept. Her eyes were red, her arms crossed tightly over her chest. She didn't say a word. She just turned and walked back inside. Mia followed her in slowly. Closing the door behind her, Claire stood in the middle of the living room and pointed to the coffee table. Her phone was lying there. Look at it, she said coldly. Mia stepped closer. The screen was lit up. A video was playing on repeat. It was the moment Daniel had shown up at her door. The angle was distant and shaky, like it was taken from a nearby building or zoomed in through some hidden camera. Claire didn't look at her. She just whispered, "How long?" Mia's lips parted. Her throat was dry. "There's nothing going on, Claire, I swear." "Then why did he come to your apartment at night?" Claire asked, her voice rising. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to hurt you," Mia said quietly. "He just showed up. I told him to leave." Claire laughed bitterly. "You didn't want to hurt me. You hid it. And now I find out from some stranger who's texting me." Mia stepped forward. "I never crossed a line. I told him the truth, that he shouldn't be there. I didn't betray you." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "But you wanted to." Mia didn't answer. She couldn't lie. Not now. Claire sank onto the couch, covering her face with her hands. "You were the only person I trusted completely. I never meant for this to happen," Mia said. "It was just one confusing moment. Claire, it didn't mean anything." Claire looked up sharply. "It meant something. Mia, you're not the kind of person who gets confused like that. Not unless there's something real underneath." Mia stayed silent. Claire shook her head. "Just go, Claire, go." Mia backed away, heartbroken, her world falling apart. That night, Mia didn't sleep. She just lay on her couch, staring at the ceiling. Her phone buzzed again. The same number. "How's it feel to be hated by the person you loved most?" She didn't reply. She didn't cry. She just felt hollow. Someone was out to destroy her. But who and how had they recorded that video? Her building didn't have many neighbors, and her floor was quiet. Had someone followed her, planted a camera? Then another message came. "You're not safe. I'm watching." Mia jumped up and rushed to her windows. She checked every corner of the apartment. Nothing. She called the building manager the next morning and asked if anyone had been seen with a camera or standing near her apartment at night. No complaints from anyone. He said, "Everything's been quiet." That only made her feel worse. Someone was hiding and they were close. A week passed. Claire didn't return her messages. Daniel hadn't contacted her either. Mia went to work like normal, but she felt empty inside. Her best friend was gone. The guilt clung to her like smoke. Then, one afternoon, as she was leaving her office building, she spotted someone across the street, a figure in a dark hoodie, standing still, staring at her. She paused. That the figure didn't move. Mia stepped forward. "Hey," but as she moved closer, the figure turned and disappeared into the crowd. Her hands shook. Was this the person sending the messages? She walked home quickly, her eyes darting in every direction. She was scared, not just emotionally, physically. That evening Mia made a decision. She called Daniel. To her surprise, he answered. "Mia, I need to see you," she said. "Please." He paused. "I don't think that's a good idea. Someone is threatening me," she said. "They're sending videos, photos. I think I'm being watched." Daniel went quiet. Then he said, "Come to my place. I'll meet you in the lobby." When Mia arrived, Daniel looked tired. He had dark circles under his eyes. "I haven't spoken to Claire in days," he said. "She won't even look at me." "She saw everything," Mia whispered. "The video, the messages, everything." Daniel nodded slowly. "I thought we could control it, but someone else got involved. I think we're being followed," she said. "I saw someone today, watching me." Daniel frowned. "You think Claire Hired someone? No, Mia said. This doesn't feel like Claire. Daniel sighed. Then who? They both sat in silence, staring at the floor. Then Daniel stood up. Give me your phone. She handed it to him. He scrolled through the messages, his jaw tightening. This is personal, he said. They know exactly how to hurt you. They know where I live, Mia added. They sent threats. Daniel looked at her, serious now. We need to go to the police. Mia nodded. Okay. Just as she said it, another message buzzed on her screen. This time, there was no text, just a new video. Mia played it, with trembling fingers. It was filmed through a crack. Inside her apartment, a shot of her sleeping on the couch. The night before, she dropped the phone. Someone had been inside her home. A stranger inside. Mia stared at the phone screen, her hands shaking uncontrollably. The video showed her asleep on the couch, curled up in a blanket. It had been recorded from inside her apartment, through a narrow gap, like from a closet door or behind furniture. She couldn't breathe. Daniel, someone was inside. Daniel stood up quickly. Are you sure this wasn't taken from a window? There's no angle like that. This was filmed from inside. Someone was in my home while I was sleeping. Daniel grabbed his jacket. We're going to the police. Right now. Mia nodded numbly, her legs feeling like they'd collapse. They got into his car and drove in silence. Every time she blinked, she saw that video again. The way her body moved slightly in her sleep, the soft rise and fall of her breathing. She had no idea someone had been so close. It felt like her skin was crawling at the police station. The officer listened carefully as Mia explained everything, starting from the strange messages, the video outside her apartment, and now this. The officer leaned back. Do you have any idea who could be doing this? Mia shook her head. No, I've thought about it 100 times, but I don't know. The officer nodded slowly. This isn't a prank. Someone's clearly invading your privacy, and they're targeting you emotionally. It's not random. He asked for the messages, the phone number, the video files. A tech team came and downloaded everything. They also gave Mia a form to request a search on her apartment for hidden cameras or devices. Until we find out who's behind this, be careful, the officer warned. Lock your doors. Don't stay alone if you can help it. And call us the moment anything happens again. Mia thanked him quietly as they stepped outside. Daniel said, You're not going back to your apartment tonight. Where else can I go? You're staying with me. Just until this is over. Mia hesitated. That wouldn't look right. I don't care what people think. You're not sleeping in that place alone. After a long pause, she nodded. Okay. That night, Mia sat quietly in Daniel's living room. The world outside felt unreal. Just a week ago, her biggest worry had been keeping distance from her best friend's fiancé. Now, someone was watching her, stalking her, maybe even sneaking into her home while she slept. I should have seen this coming, Daniel said. The way things escalated so fast. It started after that night, Mia whispered. When you came over, you think someone followed me? Maybe, she said. Or maybe they were already watching. Daniel leaned forward. It could be someone who knows both of us. Mia looked at him slowly. You think Claire? No, he said immediately. Claire wouldn't do this. No matter how angry she is. But what if it's someone else, someone close to her? Daniel was quiet. They both knew Claire had a younger sister. Lily, jealous, quiet, always in Claire's shadow. Mia had never been close to Lily, but she remembered strange moments like Lily watching her too closely, or asking oddly personal questions about Daniel. Even before the engagement, she's always been protective of Claire, Mia said softly. Don nodded. And she's good with tech. Remember how she set up that security system at Claire's house last year? Mia sat back slowly. Do you think? It's her. We don't have proof, he said. But it's a start. The next morning, Mia got a call from the police. They had checked her apartment. There had been a hidden device, a small camera, stuck behind a bookshelf, almost invisible unless you knew to look for it. Her knees went weak. The officer said they were running prints, but whoever planted it had been careful. No clear fingerprints. Then came the final sentence. We'll do our best to trace the source of the videos and the phone number, but it's likely they used a burner phone and remote access. It won't be easy. Mia hung up, her head spinning. Someone had planted a camera. Someone had stood in her apartment and watched her while she slept. This was no longer emotional revenge. It was dangerous. Later that day, Daniel suggested they visit Claire. She deserves to know, he said. And if there's even a small chance Lily is involved, Claire might notice something. Mia was nervous. She hates me. She thinks she hates you, Daniel said, but she still cares. Deep down, Mia agreed. When Claire opened the door, she looked tired and worn, like she hadn't slept properly in days. Her expression hardened the moment she saw Mia. I just need 5 minutes, Mia said softly. Claire didn't answer, but she let them in. Daniel explained everything, the threats, the camera, the police. Claire listened silently, her arms crossed, her face unreadable. When he finished, Claire looked straight at Mia. I still don't trust you, she said, but I believe you didn't fake this. Mia nodded, swallowing the lump in her throat. I wouldn't make something like this up. Claire sighed. Lily's been acting strange lately. She keeps asking me if I've forgiven you. She seems obsessed with the idea that you ruined everything. Daniel leaned forward. Do you think she could have done this? Claire didn't answer at first. Then she said, I don't know, but I can try to find out. That night, Mia stayed in Daniel's guest room. She couldn't sleep. Her mind kept going over everything. The videos, the fear, the silence from Claire. She got up to get water. As she walked past the front window, she paused. Someone was standing across the street. Same dark, HOODIE. Same still figure. She stepped closer to the glass. The figure slowly raised a phone. And took a photo. Mia gasped. This time, she saw their face clearly before they turned and ran. Her heart stopped. It was Lily, the face, behind the Fermia's breath caught in her throat. She stood frozen at the window, staring into the night, where the hooded figure had just vanished. But there was no doubt in her mind now. She had seen the face clearly in the streetlight. Before it disappeared, it was Lily, Claire's younger sister, the one who always stayed in the background, the one who smiled too sweetly but never said much, the one who had always been just a little too quiet, too observant. Now it all made sense. The strange questions, the uncomfortable stares, the sudden coldness before things had even gone wrong. Lily hadn't just suspected something between Mia and Daniel, she had wanted to prove it. And when there wasn't enough, she created something worse. She was the one watching, filming, threatening. Mia stepped back from the window, her legs trembling. Daniel appeared behind her. Did you see something? Mia turned slowly. It was Lily. She was standing outside. She took a picture of the apartment, and then she ran. Daniel's face hardened. We need to tell Claire, right now. Mia hesitated. What if she doesn't believe us? She has to, Daniel said. This has gone too far. They called Claire immediately. She didn't answer at first, but when Daniel sent a message saying it was urgent and involved Lily, she finally picked up. What now? She asked, her voice tired. She was here, Claire, Daniel said. Outside my place, taking pictures. There was a long pause. Then Claire said quietly, I'll come over. 20 minutes later, Claire stepped into Daniel's apartment. She looked thinner than before, her face pale, eyes sunken. Mia could tell this entire ordeal had worn her down. She didn't greet Mia. She didn't even look at her. Daniel explained what Mia saw. Claire said nothing. She's your sister, Daniel said gently, but we can't ignore this anymore. Claire slowly sat down. I want to believe you, but she's Lily, my little sister. She's never done anything like this. Mia spoke for the first time. She's not the same anymore, Claire. She's obsessed. She wants to ruin me. And maybe you too. Claire finally looked at Mia. Her eyes were conflicted: anger, pain, confusion. Do you have proof? No photo, Mia admitted. But I saw her face. I know what I saw. Claire buried her face in her hands. She lives with me. How? I suppose to confront her about this. Daniel said, don't confront her yet. Let the police handle it. They're still investigating the camera. If she left any trace, they'll find it. Claire nodded slowly. I'll talk to the police. But if this is true, I don't know what I'll do. The next morning, the police called Mia. They had traced the hidden camera to an online purchase paid for with a prepaid card, untraceable. But what they did find shocked them even more. There were several videos stored in cloud backup sent from the device to an email, and that email was connected to Lily's school login credentials. It wasn't solid legal proof yet, but it was strong enough to open an official investigation. The officer warned them, don't approach the suspect. Let us handle the rest. That evening, Mia sat on Daniel's balcony, watching the sky turn orange. Everything felt surreal. She had never imagined her life would turn into something out of a movie. Betrayal, fear, surveillance, and now, a stalker who turned out to be someone so close. Daniel brought her a cup of tea. "You okay?" Mia nodded slowly. "Just thinking. I keep wondering, what if I had just walked away from you the night of the party? Maybe none of this would have happened." Daniel sat beside her. "I've thought about that too. But the truth is, something would have happened sooner or later. We were already on thin ice." Mia looked down at her hands. "Claire will never forgive me, even if Lily's the one behind all this." "Maybe not now," Daniel said gently. "But someday, maybe she will." Mia didn't answer. She didn't want to hope for something she might never have again. Just before midnight, Mia's phone buzzed again. A new number. "You should have stayed away from him. You don't belong in Claire's world." Her fingers went cold. A second later, another message arrived. "Tomorrow, everyone will know what you really are." Daniel read the messages over her shoulder. "It's Lily. She's not stopping." Mia's voice was barely a whisper. "What does she mean? Everyone will know?" Daniel's eyes narrowed. "She's planning something public." They both sat in silence, fear rising, and then Mia remembered Claire's bridal shower. It was happening tomorrow, a huge event. Dozens of guests, friends, relatives, photos, laughter. And if Lily had something to show, something twisted or manipulated, would ruin Mia for good, and hurt Claire even more. "She's going to do it there," Mia said. "She's going to humiliate me at the party." Daniel stood up. "Then we have to stop her." Mia looked at him. "How?" He paced. "We call the police again. They already have a file open. If she shows up with anything illegal or threatening, they'll stop her." "But what if she already sent it to others?" Mia asked. "What if it's a video, or fake messages?" Daniel's jaw clenched. "Then, we go to Claire. We tell her everything before Lily can twist it further." The next morning, they arrived at Claire's place early. She wasn't dressed yet, her hair undone, eyes tired from lack of sleep. "Not today," she said. "Please, I have too much going on." Daniel stepped forward. "Claire, listen to me. Lily is planning something for the party. She sent another message to Mia last night." Claire looked stunned. "What kind of message?" Mia showed her the phone. Claire read the words silently. Then she looked up. "No, she wouldn't ruin my party. She already ruined everything else," Daniel said. "You said she's been acting different. You need to take this seriously." Claire stared at the phone again. Then she walked to the window and pulled her phone from her pocket. She dialed. "Lily," she said. "Where are you right now?" Pause. "Don't come to the party." Pause. "No, I'm not joking. I know what you've been doing." Long silence. Claire's face turned pale. She whispered, "You what?" She ended the call and turned to Mia and Daniel. Her face drained of color. "She sent it to every guest. Already," she said. "A fake video of you two in bed." Mia's legs gave out. When the truth breaks, Mia sat motionless on Claire's couch, her ears ringing. A fake video. Sent to everyone. She looked at Claire, whose face was pale and unreadable. "What? What kind of video?" Claire didn't blink. "Deep to you and Daniel. In bed, talking, laughing, kissing. It's edited your voices, your faces, but it looks real." Mia's chest tightened like something was squeezing her heart. How could she? Daniel stepped forward. "Deepfake technology is easy to get now, and Lily's smart. She must have found a way to create it, using real photos, voice samples." Claire held up a hand. "You don't need to explain. I know it's fake." That stopped both of them. Mia blinked. "You do?" Claire nodded slowly. "I watched it. I know Daniel. I know you. And even if I doubted everything for a moment, I know the way you both move, the way you speak. It wasn't real." Tears filled Mia's eyes. Claire looked at her, pain written all over her face. "But that doesn't erase what happened between us. I trusted you. And even if nothing physical happened, you let feelings grow. That hurts more than any video." Mia nodded, unable to argue. "I'm not ready to forgive you," Claire whispered. "But I'm not going to let my sister destroy your life either." Daniel stepped in. "Did she say where she is now?" Claire took a breath. "She's on her way to the party. She doesn't know I've seen through her yet. She thinks I'll fall for it and turn on you both." Mia stood slowly. "Then let's not give her that satisfaction." The three of them arrived at the party 30 minutes later. The mood was awkward. Some people whispered, others stared. A few women looked directly at Mia, then turned away with disgust. The video had done its job. It had poisoned minds. Daniel held Mia's hand firmly. We're not hiding. Inside the hall, Lily was already mingling. She stood near the drinks table, smiling brightly, acting like the perfect little sister. But when she saw Claire approaching, her smile faltered. Hey, Lily said cheerfully. Everything okay? Claire didn't smile. I need to speak to you. Now. Lily's eyes shifted between Mia and Daniel. What's this about? Claire didn't wait. She grabbed her sister's arm and pulled her into a quiet hallway near the back. Mia and Daniel followed. Once they were alone, Claire crossed her arms. How dare you send that video? Lily scoffed. What video? Don't play stupid. You edited it. You spread it. And you tried to ruin someone's life. Lily's face changed. Her voice dropped. You don't get it, Claire. She was trying to take him from you. She wasn't. Claire snapped. And even if she was confused, or weak, or human, she didn't do this. Lily's lips curled. She made you look like a fool. You were always too trusting. I protected you. Claire took a step forward. You broke the law. You stalked her. You recorded her. You threatened her. That's not protection. That's obsession. Mia stepped in gently. Why? Lily, why go this far? Lily turned to her, her eyes full of bitterness. Because I saw you the night of the party. You stood there like you were the bride. You looked at him like he was yours, and I knew sooner or later you'd steal him. Daniel frowned. You think you're helping Claire by doing this? Lily pointed at Mia. She's not innocent. Claire's voice cracked. No one is innocent here. But what you've done, it's unforgivable. Lily suddenly went quiet. She looked around and realized the hallway wasn't empty anymore. 2 officers, whom Claire had secretly called earlier, were walking toward them. Lily Gray, one of them asked. She blinked. What? You're under investigation for harassment, unlawful surveillance, and distribution of falsified content. You'll need to come with us. Lily looked at Claire, her face a mix of shock and betrayal. You called the cops on me. Claire's eyes filled with tears. You did this to yourself. As the officers gently escorted her away, Lily didn't resist, but her eyes never left Mia's. This isn't over, she whispered as she passed. Mia didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. The next few hours were quiet. The party went on, but the energy had changed. Claire told a few trusted guests the truth enough to ease some of the whispers. By the time Mia and Daniel left, most people had learned that the video wasn't real. But reputations don't heal overnight, and neither do friendships. In the car, Daniel asked, "Are you okay?" Mia looked out the window. "I don't even know who I am anymore." "You're someone who didn't deserve this," he said. "None of us did." She sighed. "Do you regret any of it?" Daniel paused. "I regret hurting Claire, but I don't regret seeing who you really are. Even in the worst moments you didn't fight dirty. You didn't lash out." Mia turned to him. "That's not love, Daniel. That's survival." He nodded slowly. "Maybe, but sometimes surviving is the bravest kind of love." She didn't reply. Her heart was too full of noise. That night, she returned to her own apartment for the first time in days. The police had removed the hidden camera. The locks had been changed, and for the first time in a long while, it felt like she was alone but not unsafe. She sat on the floor of her bedroom, hugging her knees, surrounded by silence. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but she knew one thing. Lily was wrong. She had never wanted to steal anything, especially not love. Forgiveness isn't always a reunion to months past. The video scandal had died down. Most of the guests who received it had either apologized or quietly stepped away, embarrassed they'd believed it. The police had confirmed that Lily was behind everything. Her devices, accounts, and fingerprints tied her to the threats, the deepfake, and the hidden camera. She was facing charges. Court proceedings were in motion. But the legal consequences weren't the only damage done. Something more personal, more painful, had been broken. Mia's bond with Claire, and Mia wasn't sure if it could ever be mended. Mia stood in front of a small art studio downtown. She had recently started volunteering there, helping kids paint on weekends. It wasn't glamorous, but it was peaceful. Creating something with her hands helped quiet her thoughts. It reminded her of who she was before everything fell apart. She dipped a brush in light blue and looked out the window. For weeks, she'd heard nothing from Claire. No texts, no visits, no signs. No signs. Daniel had called a few times, checking in, offering comfort, but he respected her silence when she didn't answer. Mia needed space. Not from people. From the weight of everything she needed to rebuild herself. Alone, one rainy morning, Mia arrived early at the studio to unlock the doors. To her surprise, Claire was already there, standing just outside, umbrella in one hand, a box in the other. They looked at each other for a long moment. Mia stepped closer. "Claire, I brought you something," Claire said softly, holding out the box. Mia took it slowly. Inside was a framed photo, an old one from their school days. They were laughing, arms around each other, hair windblown and eyes full of youth and hope. Mia smiled sadly. "I remember this day. We had just flunked a math test." Claire nodded, "and promised never to let anything ruin our friendship." There was silence between them, and then Claire added, "I came to say I'm sorry." Mia blinked, confused. "You're sorry? For how I treated you after the video?" "I knew deep down it wasn't real. I knew Lily was behind it, but a part of me wanted to believe it, because that was easier than facing the truth that my own sister hated me enough to ruin my life." Mia felt her throat tighten. Claire continued, "I didn't just lose a fiancé, I lost my sister, and for a while, I blamed you. But now, I don't. You weren't the villain, you never were." Mia whispered, "I never meant to fall into that mess. I didn't ask for those feelings." Claire gave a weak smile. "None of us do." They stood in the quiet street, rain tapping on the umbrellas. Then Claire asked the question Mia had feared most. "Do you still love him?" Mia hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Yes, but I haven't spoken to him in weeks." Claire looked down. "He hasn't called me either. I guess we both knew the wedding wouldn't happen long before Lily interfered. We were pretending." "I'm sorry," Mia whispered. Claire looked up. "Don't be. You didn't destroy anything. You just revealed what was already falling apart." Mia asked quietly, "Will we ever go back to how things were?" Claire gave a sad smile. "No, but maybe we can go forward in a new way." They stood there, two women bound by years of memories and, now, pain. Then Claire said gently, "He still loves you, you know." Mia looked away. "That's the hardest part." Later that day, when Mia returned home, she found an envelope at her door. No name, just a single sheet of paper inside. A handwritten note. "I don't want to be a shadow in your life. I want to be someone who helps you walk through it. If you're ready, meet me where it all began." She knew what that meant. The park. The same park where Daniel and Claire had first introduced her. The same bench they all used to sit on. That was the place it had started. The place it could end or begin again. Mia sat on the bench as the sun began to set. The sky turned orange and pink, soft and quiet. The air smelled of leaves and warm wind. Footsteps approached Daniel. He looked tired but at peace. He sat beside her without saying a word. For a moment, they just watched the sky. Then Mia asked why. "Now," Daniel smiled gently. "Because I knew you'd come when you were ready. Not because you needed me, but because you wanted clarity." She nodded. "I've spent weeks trying to decide whether we were something real, or just something born from confusion." "And what did you decide?" She looked at him. "We were real, but we were wrong in our timing, wrong in the way it all began." Daniel's expression was soft. "So what now?" Mia took a long breath. "Now we don't hide, and we don't run. We take it slow. We live honestly. And if this turns into love, then at least it'll be built on truth." Daniel reached out and held her hand. There were no fireworks, no dramatic kisses, just peace. Months later, the case against Lily ended with a restraining order, community service, and court-mandated therapy. She avoided jail time but not the shame. Claire moved to a new city, started over, and slowly reconnected with Mia, writing letters, not texts. The friendship wasn't what it used to be, but it was something. Sometimes, healing doesn't mean erasing the scar. It means learning to live with it. Mia eventually found love, not the kind that explodes overnight, the kind that grows quietly like sunlight after a long, dark storm. And from it all, she learned one thing that stayed with her forever. Loving someone at the wrong time doesn't make you evil, but learning from it and choosing better makes you strong. The end.